Hey, my name is Doug Thomasy. I started Blue Ridge Timing roughly in 2010 with just doing a few events here and there, but I'd say we more formally opened our doors in 2014. Had a pretty extensive background in track and field in college, and then more so cross country in high school. I was a 4-year letter winner in high school, and then I was a 2-time All-American at a Division III school in Virginia. So that kind of like segued into some coaching opportunities, and from there, that opened up the doors for Blue Ridge Timing, and yeah, we've been in business ever since.
Hi, my name is Larry Miner. I'm a timer for Blue Ridge Timing, also a sales rep at RunSignup. I've been in the running world since high school, cross-country track runner all throughout high school and college. Got into timing around 2017. Came on to RunSignup just after 2020.
Yes, my name's Billy, and I work for Charm City Run Events. I've worked for Charm City Run Events since 2012, so quite a long time now. Charm City Run Events and Charm City Run in general, we have quite a lot of umbrellas that we work under. We have an events company, we have a training company, we have 7 retail stores, and each of those umbrellas we've found a use for TicketSignup and the RunSignup tools to make our jobs easier.
I'm Moses Greenspan. I'm a timer for Wolf Creek Race Management.
I'm Andrew Massian. I'm the owner at Wolf Creek Race Management, and Wolf Creek has been servicing endurance events for 10 years now, and we're on track to time over 300 events this year.
Yeah, so as far as tickets, I was trying to introduce tickets to certain meet directors for, that I thought can handle both the ticket aspect and the registration aspect. But the first event that I used tickets for, introduced it to, was for the cross country middle school national meet in Louisville. And I think it went over really well. And we've been using it ever since. I believe this is going to go on the 3rd or 4th year now with that client.
The first event that I used TicketSignup with was the Adidas Track Nationals about 3 years ago. The biggest tool that Nolan wanted to use was the ability to configure the check-in app. So basically limiting access for volunteers as far as the event goes. Also just being able to easily train those volunteers on how to use that check-in process, since they do have multiple check-in locations. That was a big selling point for him.
The first time we used TicketSignup, we have a cross-country event that has grown quite large. It has approximately 2,800 participants. We have about 30 teams, 5 different races over the entire day. And we got into this situation where we could not figure out a safe way to have people park on site. The parking, the venue's really cool. It's a horse track. So the parking was in the middle of the horse kind of oval. And we were parking people there in previous years, but we were having just some trouble finding a safe way to get people to park. You know, people were showing up at different times because the different races are at different times. And to get to parking, you have to cross the course. And we needed to take parking off site. For several reasons. One, what I mentioned earlier. The second reason also was when we were parking people in the oval, then, it's a big job to get them up to where they're viewing the race. This venue is really cool, where there's a huge hill overlooking the oval, so you can see the runners. It's really awesome. You can see basically the last mile and a half of the race from up on the hill. You don't have to run around or anything like that. So long story short, we decided to move it off site. We found a location, and then we were going to bus people in. We came up with, what's the best way to do this? And being familiar with RunSignup, we, at the last second, set up TicketSignup. We had 2 different options. We had the VIP option, which was about, I think we had 30 spots or maybe 50 spots that were VIP that were going to be on site. And then we just take them up to the place. And then we had a off-site, option that they park there and they get brought up to the venue on a bus, get dropped off right where they need to be, walk onto the hill, and they're there to view, and get back on the bus, get returned. So the best thing was being a RunSignup user for a long time now. It was super easy to implement TicketSignup. Pretty much same tools, very, like I said, intuitive. Set that up really quick, had the options on it, sent those links out to, I think we sent it to the coaches. We communicated it basically to everybody, and within days we had 700 of the reserved and all the VIP spots filled up. And then the other super great part about it was race day came. Of course, we're nervous because we hadn't done it before. We set 2 of our team members. I call them the unlucky ones because they were out on an island all day by themselves. But they set up with the check-in app, very similar to the RunSignup check-in app. And it's, everybody's had the experience of going to a football game or a venue and you're just waiting in that line and it's inching ahead. Well, with the check-in app, you're just car after car there. You sent them the QR code in the email, just like you would at a race for check-in, and they are just checking in. It's like 3 seconds a car, especially when they have their QR code up. If they forget that, you type their name in, and we're just getting them parked really quickly. You can have the option if somebody wants to pay on site and you have a square or something like that, you could do that and just have people pull over in a different line. But again, it worked out great. And I think the biggest thing is just, don't be scared to try it out, especially if you're familiar with RunSignup, because they're kind of the same tools, and it's very intuitive, very easy to set up, and it worked out.
We started using TicketSignup in 2023 for a track and field invitational that was pretty sizable, about 70 teams. And we noticed that they were charging admission for the event. So we went to the meet director. He said, hey, we have this solution where we'll provide iPads for you. You can check people in easily. They were 100% cash. And then within 3 years, most sales now are on TicketSignup. Makes it way easier for them. They're selling programs on there, gear like hoodies and t-shirts. So it really streamlined their process and ended up making them more money. It's easier for them and for us.
I think the clients that are most useful in terms of approaching about tickets would be age group meets in terms of track and field. I think they're kind of a very disjoint group that has a real need for tickets. Not only does it help them kind of with their pre-sale, but the day of the event, instead of having a very, very long line, they can kind of differentiate into a pre-sale line and then a day of line. In addition to that, I found that clients who have something else to offer at their event, it's a perfect scenario. So for example, we sell tickets for a swim meet in regards to daily a parking pass. So to get into a certain swim meet, you might also have to buy a parking pass, and then also adding to that, say like a barbecue meal ticket. So there's a lot of different uses. And I think the meet directors and clients that we introduce this to really appreciate having all of those financials under the one umbrella, whether it be TSU or RSU.
Anytime that they have some sort of thing like parking where, it's a big cost to the group and they need to recoup some of that money back. You can charge a small parking fee and recoup quite a lot of that back, and the setup's easy, check-in's easy.
I think a good customer, as far as the timer goes, is a timer that is looking to generate more revenue from a different stream. So a conversation that I've had with a lot of, especially new timers, is how can I generate more revenue? Slowly, the business is growing on the timing side of things. So I found that tickets is a great way for them to do that. They can even offer on-site services if they have the personnel or the hardware. Just any sort of tablet or smartphone is really all you need to have on site to check in tickets. So I think those are great customers as far as timers go.
So any cross country or track and field invite that we work with, we always bring up TicketSignup throughout the process when we're talking with the client, because if they are selling tickets to begin with, it's a way to streamline that approach, since TicketSignup is so simple. It provides greater payment options and capabilities for these events. So as a timer, it is a value add for us to bring that knowledge and bring that product forward to them to help simplify ticketing for them. And then if they're not selling tickets, just pointing out that, you know, other track and field and cross country invitationals are charging for admission, they're charging for parking, they're selling meet programs, they're selling apparel. This is a way to help generate additional revenue for those race directors and invitationals and booster organizations. And in some cases, certain events that we've worked with, it's nearly covered our entire cost of timing, which has been a huge perk for them. It's super easy to use, very simple. You know, I can train someone in a boosters organization in less than 1 minute how to use the app. I would say for people that haven't used TicketSignup, it functions very similarly to the race day check-in app in terms of ease of use. And it's also very simple to integrate TicketSignup with some point of sale systems like Square. We always integrate it with Square, and we bring the tablets and Square devices set up, ready to go. So everything's ready-made, simple for these booster organizations to manage ticketing at the gate. So it's really providing a great solution for them.
I think the interfacing between the dashboard of the ticket signup setup compared to, let's say, a race day signup is awfully familiar. So that helps to assist. Instead of me having to learn a whole new interface, I can basically segue over to the ticket signup platform and offer my insights there. Along those lines, I think it's awfully beneficial to have the knowledge base to convey to, you know, these clients and meet directors regarding tickets. And with that, just like we experienced with some RunSignup accounts with our partner account, it does kick back to us a little bit, and it just shows our appreciation, and it just makes it worthwhile on our end to offer it and kind of help out RSU and TSU with regards to their tickets. So yeah, I'd say just the ease of the platform, and also, you know, just a little bit of a kickback that we see from other races regarding tickets.
My favorite part of the ticket signup platform is definitely the ease of use. I think something else besides the check-in app and how easy that is to understand and train volunteers on is also the data that's collected from the ticket registration process. A lot of events have actually benefited with cross-promoting by being able to collect that data. And then finally, I think one of the things that I've gotten a lot of feedback on is, unlike other platforms for tickets, there's no additional advertising for other events, such as meets in the area or things like that. So I've seen a lot of positive feedback by the only information that they're seeing is related to their event.
I think my favorite thing about tickets as a timer is just the easiness of setting it up. Very intuitive. The fact that the check-in app is linked to it as well. And also, I haven't mentioned this yet, the fact that you can email people with the RunSignup / Ticket Signup email tools is huge. A lot of times when we're doing this other ways, you don't have that super easy way to email people. Again, if you're using it for parking and you need to email out that QR code, that's a super simple, just like a pre-race email. So I love all the tools that are included.
I think it's probably a best practice to find the right client. You kind of understand those race directors that may have other aspects regarding their event, whether it be a carnival associated with a fun run or some other aspect regarding their business. But once you find someone who might have a use for tickets elsewhere, if you more or less have something to fall back on, like once you get that key first event, you can kind of fall back and say, hey, we use tickets for this event. It's gone over really well. It falls kind of, again, under that same umbrella with the RunSignup and financials in terms of setting up a payment account and so on and so forth. But yeah, my advice would be just know your client base in terms of your race directors. Find the race director that, you know, has some other aspect of their event aside from the running component that you can offer tickets. And then once you nail that first one down, maybe after each event, just throw it in there as a summary recap of the event, saying, hey, the race went well, And if you have any other events that might benefit from tickets or a ticket sale, maybe consider it. And we have a few examples for you to investigate.
I always tell people, don't be scared to learn something new. You might have a system that is working great, but you can improve it even more. It's very easy. TicketSignup is very intuitive, especially if you're already familiar with RunSignup. You can communicate with people. So use all those tools, especially if you need a way to check them in, use that email tool, add the QR code in there. It's not a huge project to add this into your tools. It's very, very easy to add it as a tool that you can improve your situation.
I would advise everyone to just, include tickets as an option on your contract. There's a chance that the client isn't going to want to go with that, and in that case, fine. No harm, no foul. But ultimately, if they do, it's gonna help them out. They're gonna thank you for it, and it'll also help you. So definitely just include that as an option on the contracts when you're seeking new business.
Yeah, so if you have an event that you think might be a good fit for TicketSignup, definitely loop in either your account manager or your sales rep. I know the sales reps have been very active in doing follow-up and reach outs with all of our current partners and timers, just trying to check in, seeing if there's any business that we can help you win. So yeah, if you have any races or ticketing events that you think might have a good fit for our TicketSignup platform, feel free to pass it along. Don't feel like you have to do the legwork of selling the product. We can definitely assist with that, but just making that initial introduction and opening the door is all we're asking.